Kamala was not a great candidate in 2020. I was there. I spoke before or after her half a dozen times. And she wasn't good at something called doing an interview, which is a problem. And if you put a mic in her vicinity and ask her a question, she wouldn't respond without this almost visible process going through her mind of, okay, what should I say to this?
Okay, so this is Andrew Yang, former DNC candidate for the nomination back in 2020. Andrew Yang also ran for governor, was the mayor of New York. He ran for something in New York. He was actually leading at one point. He's going to make some comparisons, some critiques of Kamala Harris and of the Democratic Party. This is great. Buckle up, folks.
Tim Black.
Kamala was not a great candidate in 2020. I was there. I spoke before or after her half a dozen times. And she wasn't good at something called doing an interview, which is a problem. And if you put a mic in her vicinity and ask her a question, she wouldn't respond without this almost visible process going through her mind of, okay, what should I say to this? What's the proper response? The cycle you didn't see, or the process you didn't see, was like, what do I think, or what do I believe? She seemed to be trying to avoid a landmine. That was true in 2020, and it just wasn't very compelling. And when she became the nominee in 24, I had this very, very sinking feeling at the time, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't think that particular trait changed over those intervening 4 years. And so I was with everyone else saying like, hey, they're not everyone else, but with Obama and some other people being like, ooh, you should have a primary, And there was this.
Wow. So he said he had a problem because he didn't think she was a good interviewer. That's really what it was. That's it. He didn't think she gave a good interview. What about her policies? Her policies were garbage. Yeah. So you really got to listen to these people, man. I talked to you. Andrew Yang came on my show back in 2020 when he was running. We had a conversation, Andrew. Interview wasn't amazing. Yeah, Andrew Yang, when I interviewed you, it was decent, but there were people that said you were arrogant as hell. You know what I'm saying? That you were not the nicest guy, and that you talk too fast, and you sound like a used car salesman. Yeah, and that wasn't considered to be a compliment. But I want people to pay attention to what he's saying here. He's saying he was worried when Kamala got the nod because he said she wasn't a good interviewer. He didn't say because she has flip-flopped on various policies, that she doesn't really stand for anything, that she fell down as a border czar, that she was unethical, that she had a lot of baggage from her past stances. None of that. None of that is in his critique. All his critique is, she didn't give great interviews like me. Hey, dog, there's a lot more wrong with Kamala than her interviewing ability. And the fact he's making it about her interviewing ability sounds suspect.
Intervening 4 years. And so I was with everyone else saying like, hey, they're not everyone else, but with Obama and some other people being like, ooh, you should have a primary. And there was this brief window. So Joe Biden drops out, which I believe was the right thing, albeit, 8 months too late, but he did the right thing 8 months too late. And then there was this brief period when J.B. Pritzker or Andy Beshear or someone else could have said, hey, I'm running to be the Democratic nominee. But then each of them folded their hand, and it was literally minute by minute. Like my phone was blowing up with people being like, who's running against her? Someone's got to run against her. We have to keep this just from being like, Kamala immediately. And then the last domino to fall was J.B. Pritzker. Everyone was looking at J.B. Pritzker because J.B. Pritzker's a billionaire and had a campaign in waiting and the rest of it. And so it's like, ooh, if J.B. does this, then it'll be on. But then after J.B. said I endorse Kamala, then everyone in my universe has let out this collective groan and it was like, it's over, it's too late. Like they're just going to give it to Kamala. And then I came out and endorsed Kamala the next day because I was like, screw it. If this is the way it's going to go, like I might as well be like a pro-civilization force and like let my people know it's like, look guys, like Trump is not the answer.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, man, I got a problem with this, folks, because to me, this shows that Andrew Yang is on the nonsense. He's on the virtual signaling stuff. He's on the bandwagon of just saying a couple things that he thinks that the temperature is okay to say at this point. Yeah, it's a lazy man's and a coward's way of trying to back into an argument and to be popular, a part of the cool kids, like to rock with who's got the hot hand right now. And that hot hand is being critical of the Democratic Party. Yeah. And look, guys, it's easy to tell somebody, look, dog, you shouldn't have drove the car after they already wrecked it. It's nothing. It's easy for somebody. You ever had a friend that shouldn't have been driving and they drove and they got locked up or got a DUI, DWI, or they tore their car up or whatever? And it's easy to say then, yeah, man, if I was you, man, you shouldn't have done that, man. That was crazy. You shouldn't have done that. Yeah, obviously. Person's got to go to court, go to jail, or maybe they broke their leg or arm or they totaled their vehicle, whatever happens. And Lord, man, just if they hurt someone else. But that's very lazy. That is weak sauce. It is weak sauce to come Johnny B. late, like Andrew Yang, like so many other Democrats. And my problem with it is, folks, is they want to actually get cool points for it. A number of Democrats are trying to increase their value, increase their profile, raise awareness about their brands by suddenly having backbones. But it's after the fact. You lost. You're out of power. Nah, man. To me, if you had something to say, Andrew Yang and so many others, you should have been saying it when it was time to say it. When that person's about to get the car with the keys. That's when you have your moral moment. That's when you have the moment of clarity. That's when you say the unpopular thing. That's what courage is about. Some of these people, man, I never mistake them or mistook them for being leaders. Because see, leaders say what's unpopular, but because it's right. Leaders stand on stuff. This is the opposite of that. This is self-gratuitous, self-serving, lame activity to benefit oneself. It benefits no one else. Who's it helping? Them. Themselves. Not the party, if that's what they want to do. I want you to vote independent. I don't want them to help the party. I like what Andrew Yang's doing only because it gives me an opportunity to shine a light on this. But let's keep going, guys. This is probably not going to get better.
Tim Black's BS detector.
But I had this sinking feeling, and it was playing out minute by minute as Joe Biden was dropping out.
Talking points detected.
Yeah, folks. Andrew Yang, I detect talking points. Yeah, not a whole lot going on here, folks. Just Andrew Yang virtual signaling, saying things I'm hearing all the other corporate Democrats say. What we should have done. What would have been better. Very light on, hey, I don't want to hear it. America, by and large, we ain't interested in you, what is it, Monday morning quarterback in the Sunday game. We're not interested in you trying to ride shotgun after the ride is over. Like, we ain't interested in you giving us the play-by-play when the play's gone. This is over. It's done. It's dead and stinking. Trump won. Democrats lost everything. Folks, can you imagine losing everything and some jackass walking up who was there the whole time saying, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Worse than that, Andrew Yang is he would call himself a public servant. As a public servant, don't you owe it? Don't you have a commitment to the people to say the uncomfortable, dangerous, risky thing if it's going to help your country? Isn't that what you would expect? That's why I say I love it when these people show themselves and who they are. I love it because it gives me less reasons to have to talk. That's right. BS detector, Andrew Yang, level 2, talking points. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Was Andrew Yang doing talking points? If you had to rate him on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate him? Number 1 is suspect. Number 2 is talking points.
Talking
Number 3 is
points
symbolism special.
detected.
Number 4 is gaslight alert. And number 5, full of. All right, let's keep going, y'all.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.